Well, this is, of course, a private occasion for the royal family. It is going to be a delightful occasion at All Saints Church in Gloucestershire, and it's going to be relatively low key. And we've just seen a photograph, a film of the King and Queen arriving, and indeed it'll have a very special cachet. Can you just imagine what would happen if Harry and Meghan not only were asked, but actually turned up? It would become a public relations omnishambles. It's too terrifying to think of, because I understand that this has been arranged, but that they haven't been invited, and very possibly on purpose. And it may there have been a report that Peter Phillips, the groom, has been in touch personally with Harry. Also, other reports that they haven't spoken for a long time. The facts simply are that to have the Sussexes at an occasion like this would totally ruin it.
And it is, I mean, but there's another theory that they have been asked, but they didn't want to go because of there might be a magazine deal. Can you throw any light on that one?
Well, again, I think that firstly, Harry is waiting for his security clearance, which he believes will give them VIP treatment, and that hasn't happened yet. Indeed, it's been very, very surprisingly delayed, because I thought that we would have heard what the Home Secretary's committee, RAVEC, would have decided. We know that next month we've got 1 year to go before Invictus, and that will be supposedly marked by a visit with Harry and possibly Meghan and Archie and Lily. And there's no doubt at all that they're angling to see, or at least Harry is certainly angling to see, King Charles at some point. And also, again, a lot of rumours. And also we know that there is in mind this thought that he might open Invictus next year. So there are all sorts of huge question marks.
Harry and Meghan did not attend Peter Phillips and Harriet Sparling's wedding. And despite their non-attendance, you still have royal experts complaining. Grace, what do you think about this? Please tell me, the questions that you have for me, because I'm sure you have a couple of questions for me. So please, Kaylee, go ahead. But before that, please subscribe to Grace Loves Drama YouTube channel, please, kindly. Go ahead.
So, Brian, I was thinking, according to Richard, he claims that if Harry and Meghan were not only asked, but actually turned up to Peter Phillips' wedding, it will become a public relations omnishambles. Now Harry and Meghan didn't show up. They didn't attend. So, Brian, why are they complaining? Why do you think they're complaining?
Because deep inside, they would have loved it to see Harry and Meghan there. Because let's face it here, he says that it's a cachet, it's something special that Charles and Camilla were there for this wedding. Then why are you not only discussing them, their attendance, them being there? Why are you bringing Harry and Meghan onto this? Harry and Meghan are living in their mansion in Montecito. But somehow, some way, they're expected to drop every single thing that they're doing to come to the UK because UK media want to analyze both their body language, how they interact with Charles, with William, with Camilla, with Kate Moulton. That's what they're looking for. That way, they can make a fortune from it. And they're angry because Prince Harry won't give them what they want, and that's why they're really complaining. And in this case, it's Harry and Meghan's non-attendance that has become the main topic of discussion. If Harry and Meghan are irrelevant as UK media claim, then why are they, coming up with all this nonsense, whereby they're complaining about Harry and Meghan not being there, and then they're saying or claiming that somehow it's good, it would be a pure disaster if Harry and Meghan were there. Then why are you not happy about Harry and Meghan not being there? Should be happy, be celebrating. But what is happening? We are seeing them just complaining on GB News. That's all we are seeing them doing. Just complaining, whinging on GB News about Harry and Meghan not being there.
Yeah.
Shame on them.
Shame on them. And Richard claims that if Harry and Meghan attended, they would ruin the wedding actually. And why does it seem that UK media clearly wanted Prince Harry and Meghan, to attend the wedding?
Well, they did want them to attend. They did want them to attend.
For sure.
Deep inside, they can all say, "Oh, it's a pure disaster.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be bad if Harry was here. It'd be bad if Meghan was here." But look at them when you look at them talking, for example. You don't see them being happy.
Sure.
They're not happy. They'd be happy if Harry and Meghan were there because of all the drama, because of all the stories that they would create about them being there.
Yeah.
That's what they were looking for. That's their main interest here. So Harry and Meghan not being there has somehow managed to, irritate this tabloid so much because, Harry and Meghan are happy in Montecito and they just cannot be able to stand it. They can't be able to stand it. They want to time and time again drag Harry and Meghan into the drama that they UK media create. And they want Harry and Meghan part of the show performing for the UK media. And already we've heard from Prince Harry himself. He does not want to be part of this game. He doesn't want to play this game with the UK media. He wants his kids to grow up at peace, not being pitted against their cousins, not, their body language picked apart, like what clearly they were interested in trying to do if Harry and Meghan did attend. And honestly, it's just sad for Peter Phillips that on his big day, you are having UK media not caring one bit about him and his wife.
On his big day.
On his big day, they're only focused on, of course, Harry and Meghan. That also triggers jealousy in the firm. But the thing is, it's not Harry and Meghan's fault. As you can see, Harry and Meghan are peacefully living their lives, minding their own business. It's the UK media who here they are talking about Harry and Meghan's non-attendance at Peter Phillips' wedding because they were desperate to have Harry and Meghan there. Now they're angry because Harry and Meghan did not attend Peter Phillips' wedding. And the thing is, Harry and Meghan, Grace, have every single right in the world to decide, where they want to go what to do, whether to turn up for this wedding, yes or no. But also, Harry and Meghan will only go to a place whereby they feel comfortable going to, whereby they feel happy to go to there.
They feel safe.
Whereby they feel safe, exactly. Right now, is the case for Harry and Meghan? The answer is no. Without security, it ain't safe. And Charles and William don't want to give Prince Harry, Meghan, Archie, Lily that security that will enable them to be able to travel safely to the UK and even stick around for 1 to 3 days before they go back to Montecito because there is no way Prince Harry want to stick around longer than they have to. Why? Because the sick behavior of the UK media. They behave very, very inappropriately.
And I was just wondering, Brian, why do they think Prince Harry would leave Montecito where, he feels happy, he feels safe, he's just okay with his family to come and attend this wedding that even British media aren't interested in, because Harry and Meghan were not present, literally.
That's a good question. Why would Prince Harry leave Montecito to come and attend a wedding that even UK media are
not interested in it.
Exactly. They have a royal wedding, which of course UK media, use that as a chance to make even a fortune for themselves. But their main topic is, and by the way, Harry and Meghan did not attend. That's their main topic. They have all of the senior members of the royal family who they claim are popular. They have William there. They have Kate there. They have Camilla there. They have Charles there. They have the King and Queen. But, all they're interested in is Harry and Meghan, who live in Montecito. And exactly, as you said yourself, why would Prince Harry, I want to leave that wonderful mansion in Montecito, travel all the way to the UK, whereby UK media want to just create drama around him, mock him, bully him, target his wife, mess up with mental health just because they want some drama. Why would Harry want that for himself? He doesn't want that. Prince Harry is done with that life and he's happy where he is. But sadly, we see that UK media don't want to accept that Harry is happy away from them. That's their main problem here. That Harry is happy away from them. Seeing Harry happy away from them upsets many of these so-called carnival of so-called experts like Richard Fitzwilliams, who desperately yearn to see Harry back in the UK, back in the royal fold, being controlled by the firm and UK media, being told what to do or what not to do, what to attend this wedding or not attend this wedding. They want to have the control over him because even Andrew, did not attend this wedding.
Yeah,
why are they not focusing on Andrew?
On Andrew,
Why are they not
who
focusing?
is in UK already?
Yeah, exactly. Who's right there? Who's in Britain?
Yeah.
But here they are mostly focused on
Prince
Harry and Meghan, who did not attend, who live in Montecito, who live thousands of miles away from the UK. That's who UK media want on UK soil to attend a wedding. It's just it shows you how desperate UK media truly are and how they are still not content with the royals that they have back in the UK with William, with Kate, with Charles, with Camilla. The sad thing is, Grace, that this triggers jealousy.
Yeah. Very true.
In the farm whereby Charles and William are so jealous because when they see these headlines whereby it's like UK media just asking about Harry and Meghan, they get more jealous and they get more full of envy because Harry and Meghan are peacefully living their lives. Montecito, raising the kids, taking the kids to school, are working very hard to provide food on the table for the children. But here they are, UK media, asking constantly, is Harry coming? Is Harry coming? Is Harry coming? He left 6 years ago.
Imagine.
He's not coming back to the royal fold. And he'll go to events whereby he feels happy to be in, whereby he's welcome to be in. That's where Harry will go.
At the same time, Richard, he still claims that Harry and Meghan's security hasn't been determined just yet, and that decision has been delayed too long. What do you think about? What do you think about that?
What do I think about that? It's true that the decision whether or not Prince Harry will get security for his wife Meghan, for his children, has been delayed, or even for himself, in the UK, has been delayed. But what I can say is that it's been delayed. It has been delayed because of the farm. The farm that Charles and William are the ones who are, behind this delay. They want to be the ones who control Harry and Meghan's movements. Look at, for example, whenever Harry and Meghan travel to Australia or any other country, look at how the farm is so upset at not being able to control Harry and Meghan's movements. Look at how the farm wants to punish people who invite Harry and Meghan to their country, like what happened when Harry and Meghan went to Nigeria, and how the army chief was punished by being denied a visa to Canada, where Charles is the head of state, just because he invited Harry and Meghan to Nigeria. So you can see that the farm wants to control and even limit Harry and Meghan's movements because they are so intimidated and so scared and terrified of Harry and Meghan's immense star power that the farm has spent 6 years trying to dim. But the more they've tried to dim Harry and Meghan's light, the more that the only thing that they've achieved, they've only made Harry and Meghan's light shine brighter and brighter. That's what the farm have been able to achieve. They've only made Harry and Meghan's light shine brighter and brighter. So even saw a comment from someone saying that Prince Harry and Meghan weren't there. So what's the problem? If Harry and Meghan did attend, that wedding would have made international news.
That's for sure.
And Harry and Meghan would have been the best dressed couple. Imagine how fine Harry would have looked dressed in Dior. Exactly. And I feel like that's why UK media better. Because they know that if Harry was there, that wedding would have made international news. But because he wasn't there, they really cannot get anything. That's why they're so bitter. That's why they're so pissed. They're so pissed because Harry wasn't there. Because his presence is what they clearly really wanted, is what they were so desperate of. And they're angry because they didn't really get what they wanted. Because if Harry and Meghan were there, for example, you'd have US media outlets paying members of the royal trust some money to make an appearance there. So that's why that's really, really bitter. Now they only have to stick to the UK media outlets. That's why they're so bitter. Because if Harry and Meghan are there, it will be international. And they're bitter because they know that they lost money because Harry and Meghan did not, of course, attend this wedding. So someone said that they're busy living their best American lives, grow up already, and focus on the leftovers already. Still, UK media won't accept, or be content with who they chose because they did choose William, Charles, Camilla, Kate Middleton over Harry and Meghan. But it's like they're not content with their choice. That's why they're still looking for Harry, Meghan, give us this, give us that. Harry, Meghan, show up here, show up, do this for us, do that for that. For us, they are so desperate for anything having to do with Harry, Meghan. Yet they should be content and accept that, Harry, Meghan are never ever gonna come back. Why are they making this all about Harry and Meghan?
Meghan,
Well, because Harry and Meghan are the most popular roles in the world.
Sure.
That's just, the fact by far.
Yeah.
William and Kate don't even come close. Don't even come close, one bit. Had they been invited and showed up, UK media would have made it all about them, as they did with the Queen's funeral and the King's coronation.
Yeah.
And whereby, instead of even mourning the Queen that they claimed that they loved, they spend the time mocking Harry and Meghan or going after Harry and Meghan. So right now, if of course Harry and Meghan attended, that's what they would have done.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that Harry and Meghan did not attend Grace. I'm thankful that Harry and Meghan prioritize, their peace of mind, their mental health, their happiness, and put that first over, fulfilling the desires of the UK medium, whereby they just want drama, and stories, endless stories, and they want Harry to perform for them. Harry said he's done playing that game.
Sure.
Accept it and just leave him alone, leave him, leave his wife, leave his kids alone. That's my message to Richard Fitzwilliams and, of course, the UK media in general. Leave Harry, Meghan, Archie, Lilibet alone. Thank you so much, Grace, for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share and support our ever-growing family on YouTube, and support Grace on YouTube by subscribing. Hit the subscribe button to join in. I can see that we are having viewers who are coming in. So please take the time to please kindly support and by subscribing and joining this wonderful community called Grace Loves Drama. And you'll be sure to even get even more drama from Grace.
Sure.
Thank you so much, and goodbye, and
Bye-bye.
see you on
Thank you.
our next video. Bye.